This video is day one of me documenting the behind the scenes of growing my business, growing in my fitness, growing in my relationship, and growing most importantly in my faith. So I don't know what the theme of this video is going to be. All that I know is I want to start documenting the real, authentic, behind the scenes of what it's like as a dedicated Christian striving to be his best, building businesses and pursuing the desires and the dreams that God has put in my heart. So if that's something you're interested in, I think you're really going to like this video series. I'm going to be documenting as much as I can, and I don't know what this video is going to be about today, but what I'm assuming is going to happen is as I document the day-to-day behind the scenes of stuff, things are going to pop into my mind, and I'm going to share them all with you guys. And God willing, they'll be helpful and valuable to you and your life and your walk. So if that's something you're interested in, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss it. Let's get into it. So although I did not get the perfect fold and flip with this omelet, it's still going to be delicious. So I've got 4 whole eggs, 2 egg whites, some spinach, some tomatoes, green onions, white onions, and all that's mixed up with some fat-free cheese and then a banana for breakfast. And I've been doing this every morning for the past 2 weeks and thoroughly enjoying it. Record a loom and explain why we need a different one so you can start to understand more of like the context of some of the B-roll, because I know it's a lot. Like he made a huge folder, yeah. Which is great, right? We need that. So I just wrapped up lunch, which was 6 ounces of ground turkey, 4 ounces of sweet potato. I went on a quick 20-minute walk, and now I'm drinking this nootropic drink. I'm about to get back into work. It is currently 11:45, and I need to be back behind the computer by 12. So it gives me a little bit of time to talk to you guys. So I'm 9 days into a complete caffeine fast. I have completely given up caffeine. First of all, I had no idea how addicted to caffeine I was. And the only reason I did this is because we were at church and the church is doing a 21-day fast. As the preacher was going through and talking about all this, I heard caffeine in my mind. Like caffeine popped up in my mind and my gut just wrenched at the idea of giving up caffeine. And I knew in that moment the Holy Spirit convicted me and I knew, dang, I have to give up caffeine for this. And I had no idea just how powerful it was going to be. I'm only 9 days in and I can tell you guys, I already feel completely different. My focus is so much better. I can be present with the Lord so much easier. I'm not having these highs and lows throughout the day. And it's not just caffeine that does this to us, it's all stimulation. I was just constantly seeking stimulation by being so caffeinated all the time. I work behind my computer most of the day. I'm an online fitness coach and I have a YouTube content agency. And so I'm always behind my computer, and getting caffeinated just makes the work funner, makes the work better, but it stimulates you, right? And what goes up must come down. And so living in that constantly stimulated state, maybe it's not caffeine for you, maybe you just scroll a lot, maybe you eat a lot of junk food. Anything of the world that is constantly giving you stimulus is going to quiet the voice of the Holy Spirit. And last night I had a realization while I was doing cardio. I was listening to a sermon from the first preacher I ever heard preach at a non-denominational Christian church, which was basically the first church I'd ever willingly went to. My entire life I never really went to church. I went to Catholic church once or twice with friends. I just slept at their house and went with them the next day. But I was 28 the first time I really went to a Christian church, and this preacher was really good, and he was placed in our lives for a reason. He pointed me to the Lord, and I'm very grateful for him. And I still go back and listen to his sermons sometimes when I'm on walks or doing cardios or something. And what he said, he was talking about fasting as well. I'm new to Christianity, but it seems like that's a kind of a theme that most churches are embracing in the new year, is starting the year off with a fast, right? And he was talking about fasting, and what I realized is that yes, big fasts are great. Like a 3-day fast from food, which I did last year, is great for your spiritual life. 21-day fast where you're sticking to something and you're giving something up and you're replacing it with time with God is very, very valuable. Or giving up something that you really crave, for me, which was caffeine, right? That's all very powerful stuff. And at the same time, this is why fitness and health and nutrition tie directly into our lives and why it's so important to treat our physiology with care. Because at the same time, we're supposed to treat every day like a fast. And what I mean by that is we're supposed to deny ourselves and deny our flesh every single day. We're supposed to surrender our cravings to the Lord. And when we do that and we live a life that is not overly stimulating, we're not eating a ton of junk food, we're not spending excess time on social media, we're not stimulating ourselves with caffeine and weed and alcohol all of the time. What ends up happening is our minds get quiet, we have more focus, and the voice of the Holy Spirit gets louder. And we can hear the Spirit, and God can guide us, and God can use us in a much more powerful way when we're treating our bodies and our daily life as a living sacrifice to the Lord. And we try to honor God with our daily habits, our daily routines, and everything that we do. So yes, big fasts are important. And like Jesus said, right, there's some demons that will only be cast out from prayer and fasting. That's it. And so I'm not negating the power of fasting, but what I am saying and what I've noticed as a Christian is there's a lot of Christians who love the Lord, but their daily lifestyle and their daily habits is so overindulgent that the only time they're living a more quieted day-to-day life is when they do these big extreme fasts, like a 21-day fast for the church or a 3-day fast with no food and just water. If they were just a little quieter with their inputs and a little more focused in their daily lifestyle with how they treat their body and how they treat their mind, they would be able to hear from the Lord more often. And I'm not saying this to be hypocritical, and I don't want to put people down in any way, shape, or form. What I'm saying is we have an opportunity to use our choices and to use our habits to actually hear from God more. And so we need to treat every single day as if it's a fast and deny ourselves of pleasures every single day and inputs and quick and easy dopamine every single day, so we can have more focus, we can have more surrender, and we can have the voice of the Spirit guiding us more often. It's now 11:55. I need to get back to work. So let's get to it, guys. I'll talk to y'all after this, and it'll probably be time to train by then. So I just wrapped up my final work block of the day. Honestly, my mental energy is pretty zapped right now. So normally old me would opt for some caffeine right now, but instead I'm gonna go jump in the cold shower, which I know is gonna get me alert. I know it's gonna get me the same type of effect that caffeine would have, but it's gonna be way better for my sleep overall later on and for my just mind in general. That always sucks. So that was 100% exactly what I needed to get my mind right and shift my state before heading to the gym. Making some non-stim pre-workout right now, so it's just gonna help with the blood flow. Feeling a pump is nice, and I love the pump. That's why I'm taking a non-stim pump pre-workout right now, and it's why I have these nitric oxide boosters. I love the pump. I love the way it feels. But if you aren't also making sure you're progressively overloading, this pump and that time in the gym is really wasted if your goal is to actually build muscle. So I'm gonna take these and throw on some worship tunes and get ready to head out to the gym.
Slight incline walk. Nothing too crazy.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, I love you.
Love you.
See you at home. While I was doing my cardio, I was listening to a Philip Anthony Mitchell sermon, and I was taking notes, and there were so many things I wanted to talk about with you guys on this sermon, but honestly, I'm just gonna put it down in the description for you to check it out. If you've never heard of Philip Anthony Mitchell, he's an incredible preacher. Raw and intense and teaching the scriptures. So the steak tacos were a success, and overall I think this vlog was a success. I think I need to keep doing these. I think this is important. So subscribe to the channel and please drop a comment down below. I know you hear YouTubers say like, oh, like drop a comment, it helps the algorithm, but when you hear a YouTuber say drop a comment, it really helps the algorithm, they really mean it. When you drop comments in these videos, it really does tell the algorithm on YouTube that people are finding this valuable or intriguing or entertaining, and it shows it to more people. So leave your thoughts on any part of the video that you watched. Leave your thoughts on what type of topics you'd potentially like to hear me discuss, or what questions you might have for me, whether they're fitness or faith related, or literally just anything. Just drop a comment on however you're feeling. It really does help the algorithm. And yeah, I'm looking forward to continuing to do this with you guys. So subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.